Do you believe it's important for a corporation to have an ethical mission statement or a credo? And should ethics training be provided for the staff of agencies as well as corporate PR?
Wow, two questions. The credo, I think, is important for a company, especially an iconic company that has a mission beyond maybe selling a product. You know, that there's some reason to exist. Overall, mission statements, I'm not a big fan of. I started to say hours, but I've spent days, weeks, and months developing mission statements that you could easily try to have a guessing game as to what company, if it wasn't identified in the mission statement, it represents, because they're all the same, essentially. So I think you need something internally for people to rally around. But a mission statement's usually too long and boring and self-serving to the point that it doesn't have credibility. So when we were at Sears, we threw out the mission statement and said that we created something under Arthur Martinez when he was CEO called the 3 C's. And we rallied an organization around 3 basic things that we wanted them to do. We decided that if you make this a compelling place to work, that's going to turn into a compelling place to shop for our customers, and therefore that turns into a compelling place to invest for shareholders. So we called it the 3 C's, and sometimes the 3 compellings. And that caught on like lightning. We had mission statement after mission statement after mission statement before that for 117 years. And within 3 months of the 3 C's, you could go into any store in the United States and ask any level employee what the 3 C's stood for, and they could tell you. And what happens? Sales increase, and the stock goes up because you got a single focus for the organization, and everyone agreed that it was so basic that I don't have to have a lot of words to explain it. So I think if it's kept simple, it really works. Now, with reference to your question on ethics training, I think ethics training is critically important, but it can't be sophomoric. That it has to be almost fun and to get engaged with, because it makes you think more than don't do this, do this, don't do this. That's not the case. But take examples of things where there may be a lot of gray area, and then how would you respond, and see how people respond, not as a test to say you stupid, you don't get it, but to have them understand that a lot of ethical issues we're facing are really gray areas. There were ethical issues in the Oriflex debate that we had around a table of people. Should you, when you know that 11 people in the United Kingdom have died, should you proceed with launching the product when you might have had some personal concerns about it? And was it sufficient that your medical advisor said, no, absolutely not? Or should you just say, let's just give a little bit more time? And so those kind of issues, you could have played that. But so getting people to really think, I think it kind of raised the level on where the ethical standards are, and it doesn't become like mom and dad saying, no, you can't do that. But engage them in what are the proper ethical standards, and I think it helps people understand that it's just not black and white.
That's right. It's the case method. That's important pedagogy in education. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And here's a real important question. So is it credo or credo? Because I've heard everybody pronounces it differently.
Well, and you're not going to get in trouble for pronouncing it either way, because I use both.
Okay, all right. I think I've used both today, even. Yes,
exactly.
Okay, yeah. All Sorry.